Hello there, welcome to my channel, Mo Moon. My name is Mo. Welcome. So today we will be talking a little bit about some of the Goetia. I work with a few of the Goetia and we have been formally introduced, and I have worked with each one of them at specific times, and it is a mutual relationship and a mutual respect between each one of them and myself. So I have a glass of wine because honestly I feel nervous about expressing how I view each one of them, because I've never done this before. So what I'm going to do is I am going to introduce one Goetian spirit at a time, and as I introduce one of them at a time, I will express to you a little bit about each one of their energy as it feels to me. So this isn't I guess this is probably UPG, unverified personal gnosis. I'm not going to be giving you each of their goetic numbers. I'm not going to be telling you what the book says about what each one of them does and how they help, or how many legions they have underneath them. It will be my own personal reflection on each of the Goetian spirit that I know. All right, so so grab yourself a glass of wine like me, or I don't know, a cup of coffee or a tea if you want, and let's start. All right. So we will start with King Paimon. What I'm doing is I'm calling in King Paimon, and I'm waiting to feel what he's telling me about his self through the energy that I'm feeling. So with King Paimon, there is a feeling of numbness. And I want to say rage. And this is making sense actually. There is tension, and yet a sense of warmth. So maybe initially King Paimon comes across as making someone feel cold or numb, and then a fear of the rage, and then a sense of warmth when his presence has settled in with the magician. So I remember the ritual that I did for King Paimon was very aggressive and very quick, and demanded a lot of energy in a quick burst. So that is the energy that I feel with King Paimon. And of course, I want to thank King Paimon for that information. Now, the next Goetian spirit we will move on to is Duke and Dantalion. Duke Dantalion brings a feeling of ecstasy and goosebumps. Duke Dantalion is very approachable, but still instills fear, despite being approachable. Duke Dantalion will instill and demand respect from the magician. And Duke Dantalion is not trusting. As much as Duke Dantalion is open to be worked with, he does not lend himself easily, and he does not build strong bonds quickly or at leisure. So thank you, Duke Dantalion, for that information. Cheers. So let's go on to Duke Amduscias. So Duke Amduscias makes me feel like I'm listening to music, but also makes me feel like I'm short of breath, or I'm feeling a little bit choked. Duke Amduscias is not one to be trusted. Duke Amduscias will help, in my experience, but I feel that Duke Amduscias really wants the magician to be direct and to the point in their requests, else Duke Amduscias will not stay. Thank you, Duke Amduscias. Let's go on to King and Earl Vin. King and Earl Vin. There is a strong feeling of nobility, not just because he is a king, but because he is also an earl. Very high class Duke, King and Earl Vin, yeah. So King and Earl Vin, very high class, very self-absorbed, but very polite, and very aloof as well, quite aloof. So thank you, King and Earl Vin. Let's go on to Earl Furfur. Okay, so Earl Furfur is very approachable, but does drain a lot of energy from the magician. But there is a sense of host and hostess with Earl Furfur. There's a host and a hostess, and it is a back and forth energy between being the host and being the hostess. So if the magician wishes to work with Earl Furfur, they have to be willing to be able to give, but also to take, but also to give, and then to take again and to give. And it is a constant communication as such. And I believe that's all. Thank you, Earl Furfur. Let's go on to Lucifuge Rofocale. Lucifuge Rofocale. It's hard to know what Lucifuge Rofocale is thinking. I have this feeling that when the magician works with Lucifuge Rofocale, there is high expectations on Lucifuge Rofocale's part, where Lucifuge Rofocale will not make himself known to the magician, though he may be there with the magician, but he will not make his presence known. He is very much in the shadows, so to speak, and he does not try to convince you of his presence. He has no interest in that. Lucifuge Rofocale really just expects you to trust that he is listening, and even if he's willing to answer, he will not make his presence known. He will answer, but he will not make his presence known. Thank you, Lucifuge Rofocale. Duke Agares. All right, Duke Agares. I sense a lot of shy energy with Duke Agares, but very nurturing. It's interesting that Duke Agares' sigil looks like a clay pot, because I feel like the pot is very symbolic for Duke Agares, where it's about the community. And when I think of the clay pot, I think about agriculture and water being carried on pots, you know, on top of the heads of women. And Duke Agares is not shy about helping the true seeker, although he won't make the magician feel boastful with his connection to the magician. The magician will not be able to feel boastful when working with Agares, Duke Agares. But if there is a magician who really wants to get into the community and working with helping the people around them, working with the earth, helping the earth, Duke Agares has that energy. But the fact that Duke Agares comes across as quite shy and timid, though he is very powerful and strong and able to really get the job done, the magician will not feel higher than anyone else in working with Duke Agares. They will not make the magician feel puffed up or proud. Thank you, Duke Agares. All right, let's go on to Duke Gemory. right, so Duke Gemory makes the magician feel quite self-conscious, but it is really just an awareness of the magician, it's himself or herself. So Duke Gemory, Duke Gemory is quite vicious. She has a vicious energy. And she has a very beautiful energy. She can make the magician feel very haughty or powerful. Duke Gemory can really play on your confidence, and she has a very sexual energy as well. But Duke Gemory, although she has a very sexual energy, it is quite composed and deliberate. So thank you, Duke Gemory. All right, let's move on to King Belial. Okay, so King Belial is a breath of fresh air. King Belial has a very strong masculine energy, a very laid back sexual masculine energy, but very much a gentleman. And I believe that's because King Belial is not trying to prove himself to anyone. He is, King Belial is an energy that makes the magician feel, I want to say insecure, but that's just because his energy is so powerful and so masculine and so laid back that the magician might feel that their sexuality is being heightened or called upon. But the good thing about King Belial is he's such a gentleman that although he might instill these feelings in the magician, when the magician starts to feel insecure in King Belial's energy, King Belial has a very gentlemanly energy and not forceful at all. So thank you, King Belial. Let's go on to Earl Andromalius. Earl Andromalius is, wow. Earl Andromalius is so intelligent. And for those magicians who feed off the energy of intelligence and intellect and problem solving and speech and language and mathematics and science, Earl Andromalius just gives the magician those vibes, in my opinion. Just gives the magician the vibes of, I am well versed in the knowledge of the universe and I am at your service. Like a very regal, up class, very gentleman, but in a very posh kind of way. very aware of his own energy and makes the magician feel very upper class, very high class as well, high society. So thank you, Earl Andromalius. All right, let's go on to Prince Vassago. Okay, Prince Vassago. Prince Vassago gives me these post-workout vibes. Prince Vassago, wait, Earl Andromalius, Prince Vassago. Yeah, Prince Vassago, post-workout vibes. I feel like Prince Vassago can really play on the energy of health. And if you are familiar with the feeling after a workout, Prince Vassago really is like a cheerleader when it comes to encouraging the magician to be in good health and to work on their self-development, self-growth, but also very much their own physical vessel. Prince Vassago will encourage the magician to take the steps to better themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and to feel the rewards of that type of work. Prince Vassago, yeah, I'm getting like very exotic energy from Prince Vassago. A taste for the finer things in life. If there's a magician who wants to delve into the finer things in life, I feel like Prince Vassago would definitely be the one that you would resonate with. So thank you, Prince Vassago. All right, let's go on to King Asmoday. King Asmoday feels like a summer day, sipping on some wine, enjoying the surroundings, being in the present moment, really feeling outside of space and time, and just really feeling like if there's a magician who works with King Asmoday, if you want to feel zen, if you want to feel like you are dissolved into the matter of magic, King Asmoday can really bring on that type of result where you can be in the moment. You can probably manifest very well with King Asmoday, because King Asmoday helps you to feel the energy of what you want to create. King Asmoday, I do feel a sense of fear with his energy, perhaps because he's a king, but I feel like there should be a little bit of caution with King Asmoday, because I feel like if the magician chooses to turn somehow and disrespect King Asmoday, I feel like King Asmoday will withdraw his power quite quickly and leave the magician feeling empty. Well, thank you, King Asmoday. So let's go on to Duke Bune. Duke Bune feels like a very supportive energy. If the magician is looking to feel supported in a specific endeavor, if the magician is successful in communicating with Duke Bune will definitely support the magician that he is working with to really feel supported and really give that support. Duke Bune will give the magician the support, but it's up to the magician to empower and motivate him or herself. So Duke Bune will definitely be that sturdy foundation, but I feel that when it comes to working with Duke Bune, if you are in need of a foundation, that is what you will achieve with Duke Bune. And Duke Bune is very mysterious and very reserved and drawn. There is the foundation, but there is also the energy of personal relationship with Duke Bune. It doesn't seem to me that Duke Bune is willing to express himself because I don't think Duke Bune wants to reveal himself to just anybody. I feel that it's a personal relationship between, just like all the Goetian spirits, but especially with Duke Bune, it is very much secretive. So even though I am feeling a lot of energy with Duke Bune, and I could probably say a lot more, I don't want to upset myself by overstepping my boundaries when it comes to talking about Duke Bune. But the support is there, the foundation is there, the stability is there with Duke Bune. Thank you, Duke Bune. So those are the Goetian spirits that I am working with. Let me know if any of that resonated with you, or if you want to comment down below who you're working with. I hope this was insightful, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.